Hello. This time I'm working on a mini of a woman of the woods. Sorcha is a druid and a barbarian. When she's not transformed into a bear and mauling her fiendish enemies, she enjoys frolicking in the woods with her happy little wooden scimitar. This sculpt is for Frédéric, who used an intelligence artificielle program to generate some reference art for this sculpt. Now, Frédéric mentioned that Sorcha doesn't wear metal armor, and that her scimitar is made of wood. The typical way to handle that would have been to just take a piece of wire and put some clay over top of it and shape a scimitar from that. But I was feeling ambitious. So ambitious, in fact, that I didn't just use a piece of scrap pine softwood. No, I went and got some maple. And that's what I'm using here to make her sword. While I try to take a lot of artistic license with the minis I make, and I certainly did wander a lot from the reference art for this one, I at least try to keep her very curvy form from the picture. And since she's only going to be wearing some light clothing, I wanted to get the body details looking pretty good. That gel on my thumb that I keep dabbing the brush and sculpting tool into is Vaseline. Since polymer clay is oil-based, it works really well for smoothing out and softening the clay. And I'm doing the same with the legs and later the face. After I build them up to the shape I want, I carefully brush the surface with some Vaseline. All kinds of oils work for this too, and polymer clay manufacturers sell oils called conditioners, specifically made for smoothing out polymer clays like this. I hope Sorcha is going to have many adventures at Frédéric's table, saving the world from natural disasters and stopping fiendish invasions. Between adventures, though, I imagine she would be resting in a cozy cottage near a small town, gathering herbs and visiting locals, human and animal alike. I'm trying this technique for sculpting a face for the first time by placing the clay onto a flat sculpting tool that I have. It gives a bit of stability to the face, and gripping the tool it's resting on is a lot easier than holding the mini and turning it around. The mini itself isn't completely rigid either, so sculpting the face directly onto the mini means the face bends away from me every time I put any pressure on it. Then I can use glue and clay to attach it to the mini after I've baked the face hard. All in all, I think my first attempt at this method worked fairly well. I wonder now if she would have looked better with more rounded eyes as in the reference art. All the same, I think this sculpt is shaping out really well. This is where I took the biggest step away from the references Frédéric provided. I discussed the idea with him, and he seemed eager to see what I had in mind. As a druid who specializes in shapeshifting, I wanted to replace her conventional cloth clothing with some that it seems like she just molds for herself in the moment out of the surrounding nature, that really also speaks to her connection to the forest she protects and calls home. Tissue paper works really well for various bits of clothing for minis. With a bit of varnish, it adheres nicely to the clay, and when the varnish is dried into the tissue paper, it cures to end up very much like a thin sheet of plastic. As thin as it is, it should hold up fine to casual handling. I like the long flowing hair in the reference picture, and I just wanted to make it just a little bit wider. I could have sculpted the hair out of clay and have done so with minis in the past, but cotton just works so well for this purpose. By adding a little bit of varnish to the cotton, not too much at a time, I gradually shape it into the shape I want, a shape that will still have bounce to it. And when I'm done, I'm going to continue with the same theme as with her clothing, and I hope you'll like the outcome as much as I did. And here she is. Sorcha Harveye is ready to go adventuring at Frédéric's game table. I hope she has a great time with Frédéric and his gaming group. If you would like to suggest a sculpt, my email address is jsminiatureworkshop@gmail.com, all included in the comment section, or you can also post here under one of my videos. And if you enjoyed this sculpt and what I do on this channel, please consider supporting me free and easy by clicking like and subscribe, and possibly leaving a comment. I look forward to hearing feedback from you all. Thank you.